Hello everyone and welcome to Stefan's podcast, the only podcast for everything Japanese news and what's going on in the big old world of Tsushima. I'm Stefan and let's jump into the Japanese news for today. The first news story coming out of Japan is about smartphones. It seems like every single country in the world is doing something to stop people using smartphones or limit the internet. The UK have come out with their crazy new bill that has stopped everyone from accessing the internet, but Japan is going a little bit lighter on it. A city called Aichi, Aichi City, drafts an ordinance to cap smartphone use at 2 hours per day outside of work and school. So you can use your smartphone as long as it's for working and for school. But if you want to have fun on it, oh no, we want that limited to just 2 hours. How they actually plan on administering this, I have no idea. The news story hasn't even said how they plan on doing it, but I think this is just like, this is going to be our recommendation. We tell kids no more smartphone for more than 2 hours a day, which when you actually think about time and being outside of school and outside of work, 2 hours a day, just constant use on a smartphone, is actually quite a lot. I know I probably use my smartphone even more than that. It makes sense for kids to not be using it so much. Go outside, go play some sports, go do something, but it's the way of the world. I don't think we are ever going to be able to do this unless we turn into China, where they literally switch off the internet after a certain time or stop games from being accessed. And I don't want to live in China, so that doesn't sound good to me. But what do you think? Should there be a way that schools or prefecture can limit children's smartphone use? Personally, I don't know. What if they're also doing like something cool on their smartphone or like a project? Well, I don't know what you can do, like drawing on it. They're making something artistic, because a lot of my kids, my students, they use their tablets, not their smartphone. They use their tablets for drawing, and I've seen some of them make some fantastic artworks while drawing on these tablets. So they're not all bad. It just needs to be constructive use of time on smartphones, just not TikTok. I don't mind them putting like a 2 hour limit on social media for kids, because that stuff is rotting your brain and you just don't realize how much time you're spending on it. I'm sure people do this. As soon as I wake up, I get my phone, I then go on Instagram, and then bang, it's like 20 minutes has gone like that and I can't get out of bed. And they come up with some new name for it, like bed rot or something. Yeah, don't do it. Social media, that's the problem. It's not just smartphones. But there we go. Next news story coming out of the big Nihon is a very silly boy has gotten up to some mischief. A 25-year-old man, was arrested for bootlegging a recording of Demon Slayer. So a South Korean man has been arrested for allegedly making a bootleg recording of the animated film while in a Tokyo cinema. He got his smartphone out and just started recording the cinema while it was going. That is incredibly stupid. I can't believe people still do this. I thought this was a thing of the past now, with so many like illegal streams and everything like that, that someone actually records the movie. Why they would do it, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Oh, apparently he purchased 200 anime Blu-ray discs on another credit card as well. This guy is a bit of an idiot, and I hope he gets into a little bit of trouble. What do you think the crime should be for this? A fine? A little bit of prison time? I don't know. This is just sad. Like, can you imagine being in prison with murderers and all the other evil people out there, and you're just like, what did you do? I recorded an anime. Oh, I recorded Demon Slayer to sell. Oh, please don't hurt me, big murderer man. I'm innocent. I'm a good boy. I just like to watch the Demon Slayer. Ridiculous. But surely, right, I'm no criminal mastermind, but surely it is easier to actually go into a cinema, probably break into the theatre room and just steal a copy of the movie and then play it that way. Some people do not make sense to me. Their crime is stupid. And how much, if he is selling them, how much are you going to get for Demon Slayer? Not gonna be a lot, is it? It's gonna be like what, couple of dollars for each copy, because especially if it's recorded from a cinema, it's gonna be shite. But there we go, bloody stupid. Our next news story coming out off the old big Japan is about a bear stare off. Ooh, watch out for this. So a Japanese man, a teacher. Why schools are still in session at the moment, I don't know. Why teachers still go in for a half day during the summer vacation? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me. But a teacher managed to stare off a bear coming into a school. Apparently, they didn't know that there were bears in the area. There was one lurking by the school, and it started to get very, very close to the school. And the teachers had to do like a bit of a mock lockdown. They've never practiced this sort of thing. They didn't know what to do. And then one brave teacher went out and just saw the bear and stared it down. I will say this bear wasn't overly big. It's not one of the giant ones. Apparently it was only, I think he said it was 60 centimeters long. It wasn't a big giant beast that the normal bears are. How can I not find the size of it in this interview? But yeah, not an overly big bear. It was like a child one. So it went, oh, here we go, 50 to 60 centimeters. That is not a big one. I think I could take a 50. I mean, that's still scary, but I think I could take a 50 to 60 centimeter bear. Come on, let's go. Take him down. So he stared it down, and then apparently the bear ran away. But he was scared that the mum bear was going to be around, because of course it's a child. He was scared that the mum bear was going to be around, so they still sort of locked the school off for a little bit to make sure that there was no evil bears. But the big news story is how the man managed to scare off a bear by just staring at it in its eyes. Does it matter that the bear was very small? No, it doesn't. He's still one of Japan's best, and he deserves a medal. He did not get up to mischief. He was very, very good. But our next news story coming out of the old big Japan is the Japanese Prime Minister has come out and said one of the most ludicrous things. He has said, apparently, being Prime Minister isn't that fun, not that enjoyable. There's not much fun to be had being a Japanese Prime Minister, or any Prime Minister, he said, because he's busy, he's got so many things to do. I have to say, as a Prime Minister, he's not the most charismatic of men. I probably haven't seen someone with less charisma. And when he got picked to be Prime Minister, I was a bit like, him? Really? He doesn't seem very leading man or Prime Minister-y, but apparently he doesn't even like the job as well. So be interesting to see how he does. His election results are not very good at the moment, so I don't think this is going to add to his thing. But what would you say if you were Prime Minister? If I was Prime Minister, I'd be like, yeah, it's a great job. Oh, couldn't imagine a better job. It's fun, it's great. I get to do so many things. I get to help my country. But no, not much fun. Weird. Very, very weird Prime Minister. But Japan is in a bit of a weird place with its Prime Minister. Weird. But there we go. Our next news story coming out of Japan is about retirement age. Now, a Japanese university has been studying people in 35 different countries, looking at how their quality of life works after they retire. And they found that actually you are much healthier when you retire, which I am a little bit surprised to hear, because I've heard, a lot of people when they retire, they just go to mush, basically. They just stay at home, they don't go out, they don't do anything. But in most of these studies, it's found that no, actually a lot of people, they live a better life. They get to do the things that they've always wanted to do. They get to relax a little bit more, and it actually improves a lot of people's inactivity, because a lot of people now, especially living in this age, you just go to work, you sit on a computer for 8 hours, you go home, you watch TV, that's it. You don't have time for football, tennis, or walking, whatever you're going to do at that age. And they said that a lot of people, once they actually reach retirement, they end up doing a lot more physical activity than you expect. So I was just really, really surprised on that. And it's nice to hear that retirement isn't all bad. Would you like to retire? Is that something you do? Personally, I don't think I will ever fully retire. I think I will find something to do. I'm really surprised how much I have enjoyed teaching and being around like kids working in Japan. So when I retire, I would like to maybe volunteer at like a sports thing for kids and just organize sports games, because I think that's fun. All I have to do is stand in the corner, I referee the games, let them play the matches, and get to watch them. Lovely time, bish bang bosh. Or I do some sort of teaching once or twice a week. That would be my perfect thing. I really don't want to just be sat at home all the time. I think that's just a little bit too much. But I am all for part retirements, like going down and down and down. And maybe that is the problem with retirement. It's 100% or nothing. And maybe as we're all getting older in Stefan's perfect world, once you reach, I don't know, let's say we do this. Once you reach 55, right? 55, because the older people out there will like this. You reach 55, you get 1 day a week less. And then maybe when you get to 60, you also get 1 day less you have to come in. And then when you get to 75, no, 60, yeah, I need to work on my aging a bit. But once you get to then, let's call it 65, you get another day off. So only working 2 days a week. Then you get to 70, then you're only doing 1 day a week. And then it's optional if you want to come in 1 day a week. Because I think most people, retired or not, would like maybe doing 1 day of work here and there, making themselves feel useful. I don't know. I'm not retired. What do you think about it? But retirement is good for your health. Yeah, I'll take that, baby. Good for me. Good for you. We should do it now. Hell, I'll retire. I'll partly retire right now, baby. Ooh, yeah. But our next news story coming out of Japan is... oh, this crazy store that's just opened in Tokyo, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Some people will probably like it. I just see this as an unbelievably complicated way to shop. So a new store in Japan has opened up, a new clothing store, where you're encouraged not to talk to their staff, not because they're rude or anything, but the shopping experience is combined into a sort of escape maze. So you have to work out all these different puzzles to get access to some of their clothes. And if you can't work out the puzzles, well, that's it, you don't buy anything and you leave. But this just sounds absolutely... just a nightmare. Apparently, if you call out to a member of staff to ask a question, you are disqualified, and it doesn't say what happens if you're disqualified, if you get kicked out. But oh, you also have to buy a ticket to this, which is even weirder. So you have to spend money before you even go in the store. But the higher prizes you get, the more clothes you get access to, and you can buy whatever. This seems overly complicated to me. I don't think I'm a fan of escape rooms or riddles, so not for me. Some people might love this. They might want to go in and be like, yeah, I solved the hardest riddle in the world and now I have access to my t-shirt. I can finally get this shirt. This sounds like Dan Flashes from I Think You Should Leave, but 10 times harder. In fact, this is a great sketch for Dan Flashes. If this and Dan Flashes were put together, oh baby, that would be very, very interesting. But I don't want to go to the store. The name of the store is very complicated to say. It's Tokil. Tokil? How do you even say that? Tokil? Tokil? That's such a weird... I mean, it's Japanese, so let's see how to pronounce. Tokil. No, Toki? Tokil. I think that's how you pronounce it. There's no word, there's no way to say it, but there we go. They don't even have... The weird thing about the store is on their... like... on the news story they've put out, they don't have any pictures of the clothes. Let's see if we can get... oh, there's a few pictures on their website here. They look very plain t-shirts. They're nothing to get excited about. At the moment on the website, they've just got black shirts, which just have some funky designs on them. Yeah. Hey, if that's your jam, if that's what you like, you're into escape rooms, give it a look in, because you'll enjoy it. You'll get to have fun solving the complicated riddles, which are too complex for me. I shall leave it to the smarty pants out there. Good luck, you geniuses. That is not for old Stefan. In fact, I want a store, why could you go in and buy it? I just, give them the thing and I say, here's your thing, here's your money, and they go there, boom, get out my store and leave me alone. And then I certainly do that. You know what's funny? I have coasters in here. I never use them. There we go. Look at me keeping the desk clean. That's nice. Our next news story for you, coming out the old big Japan, is the Japan is looking at changing how they deal with romanization. To be honest, I don't think this is going to affect any of us who have learnt Romanji and converting it into English. By the looks of it, it seems that, or at least the way that I learnt, was the way that Japan are looking to change everything. So I think we are all fine. But in the future, if you see some information on like romanization to Japanese and you think it's a little bit wrong, it might be because of these changes that are going on. But everything that I have seen is how I learn. So maybe some of you older people out there who learnt Japanese, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, the romanization might be a bit different. But to me, when they were talking about the changes to romanization, I was like, what? This is exactly how I read it. So maybe I am just a smart little boy. But they are looking at changing it. So if you see any possible changes to romanization, then do it. I'll put the link in the description of the YouTube channel if you want to read the news story. It's on the Japan Times. To me, it didn't seem any different to how I read Japanese now, so I think it's okay. But just keep an eye out for some changes, because they are looking at possibly changing some romanization rules for the first time in 70 years. So that might be a little bit confusing for us who barely understand Japanese as it is, and now they're going to change up how they deal romanization, and I don't like that. That is confusing. That's how like hiragana and katakana are converted into English. So, oh no, we don't like that. But our next news story coming out of Japan is our last one. This is not a popular news story, by the way. This is a very, very, very obscure news story that's come out, so don't take this for gospel. But there's been some studies, some researchers who are saying that fabric softener, the scent, the smell, is harmful around children. Apparently 10% of students begin to feel unwell because some students' clothes smell too nice. I have to say, this really, you're getting sick because of someone's the way someone's clothes smell? Quite frankly, in my classes, I'm just happy if the kids don't smell at all, especially after gym sometimes. Oh man, gym class in the summer when sometimes the AC is off. So what will happen a lot of the time, if the kids leave the room to go to the gym, the air conditioning in their room will get switched off. So they will come back, and a lot of the guys, someone explained to me why Japan don't get changed in a normal changing room and they just get changed in the classroom. So in all my schools, what happened is the boys will get changed in the normal classroom, right? And the girls will go to another room where they will go and get changed. And it generally leads after gym, sometimes a room will just stink, absolutely stink. Oh my God. Remember in one of my schools in the north, oh man, whew, coming in there once and just being like, oh my God, this smells of teenager. Ugh, disgusting. But I had to open all the windows. Let me tell you something. All of those windows were open straight away. And I was going, good Lord. But it doesn't make any sense to me why they get changed in the classroom. To be honest, I think that smell is worse than clothes that smell nice with fabric softener done on them. But hey, so I'm sure some parent group is very happy about this study. So of the people it studied, about 8,000 people. So not an overly big big pain. What was even weird about these things, some of the symptoms that they're recording don't even make sense for nice smells. It was like stomach pain, diarrhea, nausea, headaches, and joint pain due to fragrances on fabric softeners. How does a fabric softener give you joint pain? I can understand like giving you a headache or making you feel sick. Diarrhea, that doesn't make sense to me, but I'm not a doctor. Yeah, this seemed like a very, very questionable report that comes out. But hey, Japan is like every other country in the world. Sometimes their reports and surveys are a little bit questionable. I don't believe in this. I think chances are these kids were probably feeling unwell before they come to school, because sick kids, let me tell you something, they're sick all the time, and they get me sick all the time. This year, in fact, these last 6 months have been, touch wood, the best 6 months I've had in Japan, because I haven't been sick. This has been the first summer in Japan I've managed to get through without getting really, really sick with something. I haven't had to go to the doctors in a while. Oh man, it's great. I did have to go for my health check recently, but do you know how nice it is not to have to go to see a Japanese doctor every couple of months? Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Since being here, was it strep throat? What? Strep throat? What do babies get? Strep throat? Might have been that. Oh, yeah, might have been strep. Yeah, I think I got strep throat when here. I got tonsillitis as well. I've had just general colds knocking about because of the Japanese. I've had stomach problems since being here. I think I was just getting used to Japanese food. But oh man, yeah, maybe that was it. Maybe it's too much too much fabric softener. In fact, actually, that's a lie, because I've started using more fabric softener now, and I feel great. So far so good. I like nice clothes. Does this one smell nice? No, I think this is an old one. Don't think I wash this one properly. Sometimes I don't put fabric softener in. Sometimes I just forget to do it, and sometimes I do it. Most of the times I do it. No, I don't think this had fabric softener on. Doesn't smell nice. Yeah. How sad. But that, I think, we got any more news stories coming up? Oh, we just got one news story coming from the UK, and I sort of mentioned about this earlier. In the UK, we have introduced a law which is stopping a load of online stuff, a load of free speech is coming down, and they're requiring people who are 18 to basically upload like an identification so that they can view materials that are for people who are 18-year-olds. Now, this isn't just like gross pictures of naked ladies and whatever. Some of this is also like reading stuff and news and all other sorts of things. And the UK government via Ofcom, which, God, that is an awful organisation. That has to be, in my opinion, one of the worst things of Britain. The amount of things that they've banned on radio, TV, and all sorts of other things is just unbelievable. But they are trying to fine 4chan about £20,000 a day for not implementing this law. So when you go to their website, they are meant to have a page come up that says you need to submit your ID to the UK government to access this. They are not doing that. And the reason behind it, which I think is very good, is that they said, well, our website's in the United States. We are not... we're nothing to do with the UK, so we're not going to do this. Our company is registered in the US. People are accessing your website from the UK. It's not our problem, and that's it. And I kind of hope more websites follow suit with this. I really, really do. I think this is good. I think the requiring everyone to upload their ID so that the government know what materials you're looking at is disgusting. I do not agree with this act whatsoever. So good on 4chan, which is something I never thought I would say. 4chan actually have good philosophies and good morals, which weird thing to say, but hey, good job 4chan. Never thought I'd say that in my life, but there we go. And that is pretty much all of the news for today. We've been blasting through them all very quickly. Is that it? Yep, that's it. That's all the news for today. Thank you very much for watching. I will, of course, see you tomorrow for your next news update. We got about one more week of these podcasts being every day. The reason I'm doing them every day at the moment is I'm trying to get the format down for the podcast, because I'm not happy with how these videos have been going. Their quality is not there, and by doing them every day, I can work out a few kinks and whatever. So they're going very well. I'm also going to continue doing my 24-hour news update for the next couple of weeks and see how that goes, because I enjoy doing it. But that is the end of the podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day, and I shall see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.